The growing trend of arrests being made during pro-Palestinian protests is happening at the University of Florida. Several protesters were arrested this evening. TV20's Misty Webb is live at the Plaza of the Americas where the protesters were arrested. And Misty, what are they demanding from UF officials?
Protesters are frustrated after 9 people were arrested and held in this building behind me to be questioned. Pro-Palestinian protests have been happening on campus in this area since Wednesday. Last week, the University of Florida sent out a letter prohibiting certain actions during protests. Today, protesters brought out chairs and UFPD officers threatened arrest. After a long standoff, UF officials confirmed that 9 people have been arrested. Protesters I spoke with say they are frustrated because they were practicing First Amendment rights.
Everyone is very worried. I mean, listen, in this state, getting arrested, it's not good. And a lot of people are worried. Again, everyone thought they would be fine realistically because, again, First Amendment rights. We're sitting in a free speech zone of campus.
UFPD officers were joined by Florida Highway Patrol troopers in making these arrests. Officials say the charges range from failure to obey a lawful command and resisting without violence to trespass after warning. One protester was charged with battery to a law enforcement officer for spitting on them. The 9 people were taken to the Alachua County Jail. University of Florida officials have released a statement on the arrest saying, "This is not complicated. The University of Florida is not a daycare and we do not treat protesters like children. They knew the rules, they broke the rules, and they'll face the consequences." Officials also say they believe many of the protesters are considered outside agitators. A hearing will be held tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the 9 people arrested, and protesters are expected to be present. Live in Gainesville, Misty Webb, TV 20 News.